Today, the church celebrates the feast of the dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. It also is at the same time the feast of Our Lady of Snows. The story goes that in the year 352, two men in Rome had the same dream one night. One man was named John. He and his wife had no children, and they made a promise to Our Lady that if she would intercede for them, they would do whatever she asked. And so that night, the dream that he had was that he was to build a church on the place where snow would fall in the middle of August on the Esquiline Hill. That same night, Pope Liberio also had that dream, that a basilica, a church, needed to be built in honor of Our Lady on that hill. And so the next morning, these two men found themselves on the Esquiline Hill. August is not very cold in Rome, very, very warm, and the miracle of the snow outlining the place where the basilica should be. And so before the snow melted, Pope Liberius was told that with his staff he traced the outline of the church. This was the first basilica in Rome dedicated to Mary, the Mother of God. Not just the mother of Jesus, but the Mother of God. Almost 100 years later, in the Council of Ephesus in 431, Mary was declared to be the Theotokos, the Greek word which means the Mother of God. There was a heresy at that time saying that Jesus was the son of Mary, but she was not the Son of God, only the mother of Jesus. And so they clarified that Mary indeed was the mother of God. And the basilica that houses that in her honor has many beautiful things, one of which is the picture that St. Helena brought back from the Holy Land. And it is of historical value because it now becomes the picture of Our Lady, salvation of the Roman people. This beautiful picture now is displayed all over Rome. On every street corner you'd see a little shrine to Maria's Salus Populi Romani, as they say. It's Mary's maternal protection that we honor today, remembering the origins of this basilica, but also remembering that Jesus speaks to us about discipleship. We do not follow Mary, but Mary leads us to Jesus. In the gospel, we hear Jesus speaking clearly to his disciples, telling them that the cost of discipleship is not an easy one. It is difficult. If we're not willing to deny ourselves, pick up our cross and follow Jesus, we cannot be his disciples. Yes, we must lose our very selves in order to find ourselves as the disciples of Jesus Christ. Mary is the example of the first Christian to do this. She witnessed Jesus carrying his cross well before she said that fiat when the Archangel Gabriel greeted her and told her she was to be the Mother of God. Not understanding what that greeting meant, she knew that she had to follow. She gave up herself in order that she might be a disciple of Jesus, the first disciple. She herself underwent many sorrows in her life, but Mary is the example of the perfect Christian, yes, whose life reflects the Savior's command that in losing one's life, we find its real value and meaning. In this Eucharist today, we come and are assured that we find also the meaning of our life. Any suffering we undergo in this life, if we join it to the suffering of Jesus Christ, we clearly have great meaning in it. There's a story told about Padre Pio. A woman came to him and said, I know Jesus suffered for 3 hours on the cross. that I've been suffering for 30 years. And Padre Pio told her, do you know that Jesus still suffers? That the work of the redemption is not over? That his suffering continues? And when we join our suffering to that of Jesus Christ, we partake in the salvation of the world, which is a continual event that happened once for all, but it continues to play out each day, and all the terrible events sometimes in our world and sometimes in the good events too. Today, being First Friday, we will have benediction at the conclusion of the Eucharist, and we recognize that in that Eucharist we find the meaning of our life. We add our joys and our sorrows to that life of Jesus that makes our life all so wonderful.